Tony Stark's Iron Man legacy is that he's the one who snapped the world back into its rightful order in Avengers Endgame and paid the ultimate price by sacrificing his life. However, we can't deny the fact that this popular hero also has blood on his hands, albeit indirectly. For today's video, we'll be listing down the 10 characters from the MCU who died because of Tony Stark. So make sure you keep watching if you want to know more. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Starting today's list, we have Obadiah Stane. In the 2008 film Iron Man, Jeff Bridges played Obadiah Stane, the very first supervillain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was revealed that the businessman was the evil mastermind behind a plan to kidnap, kill, and eventually steal Tony Stark's arc reactor technology to become the Ironmonger. Stane fights Tony Stark, who is wearing his own Iron Man suit, and dies shortly after becoming the Ironmonger. Tony tells Pepper Potts to overload a server below where they were fighting, killing Stane and putting an end to the fight before he can go on a rampage. Even though Tony was not the one who killed his former mentor, he is still accountable for equipping Stane with the technology that would ensure his own demise. Next, we have Ho Yinsen. Sean Tobe plays Ho Yinsen, one of the people who most affected Tony during his early years of redemption in Iron Man. Yinsen is held captive by the Ten Rings terrorist group because he helped the kidnapped weapons manufacturer to create an armor suit that would allow them to escape. Ten Ring soldiers kill Yinsen to give Tony time to finish putting together his first Iron Man suit. To give Tony Stark a second chance at life, the heroic man deliberately allowed himself to die, making sure to warn the young superhero not to waste his life afterward. Then there's Oleg and Irina Maximoff. Wanda and Pietro Maximoff were the children of Oleg and Irina Maximoff, a married couple from the war-torn Eastern European nation of Sokovia. The Maximoff twins, who would go on to become powerful Avengers, would suffer for the rest of their lives following their violent deaths in a shelling attack. When a bomb goes off and hits their family home, Oleg and Irina Maximoff are killed. Pietro and Wanda blame Tony for their parents' deaths when it is revealed that Stark Industries actually made the bomb. Although Tony's company's lack of oversight resulted in the deaths of two innocent people half a world away, Tony was probably unaware that his weapons were being used in the Sokovian conflict. And another Maximoff casualty in today's list is Pietro, Wanda's twin. In Avengers Age of Ultron, Pietro Maximoff, a person with superhuman abilities also known as Quicksilver, made his biggest screen debut. He fought the Avengers alongside his sister Wanda at Ultron's whim, but later joined Earth's mightiest heroes after Ultron's true intentions were made clear. Following his protection of Clint Barton and a child from an onslaught of shots launched by an Ultron sentry, Pietro is slain during the Battle of Sokovia. Even though the hero selflessly gave his life to save others, he would never have been in that situation if Bruce Banner and Tony Stark had not taken it upon themselves to create Ultron in the first place. Many innocent lives will be lost as a result of their tremendous stupidity during the Battle of Sokovia. Moving forward, we also have Maya Hansen. Iron Man 3 features Rebecca Hall as Maya Hansen, the ex-girlfriend Tony Stark dumped. Maya is shown to be collaborating with Aldrich Killian of AIM, who wants to get revenge on Tony Stark for a perceived wrongdoing from more than 10 years ago. Throughout the movie, she assists him in capturing Stark and imprisoning him in their covert laboratory. One of the numerous people who suffered injustice at the hands of a less valiant Tony Stark before he became Iron Man is Maya. Tony could have prevented the deaths of numerous would-be supervillains, including Maya, who is slain after she ceases to be helpful to Killian if he had been a more kind-hearted person in his youth. Next, there's also Quentin Beck. One of the best MCU villains is Quentin Beck, also known as Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Befriending Peter Parker during the occasion of Arachnid Man to become the greatest superhero ever, Mysterio plans to steal Tony Stark's drone technology in Far From Home. During a fight with Spider-Man, one of Quentin Beck's drones appears to kill him. Even though the supervillain pitted himself against Tony's genius rather than Tony, Beck would never have been inspired to pursue a life of crime if he hadn't had a bad work experience at Stark Industries. The brilliant scientist was mistreated by Stark, leading him down a dark path that would lead to his demise. Then we have King T'Chaka. In Captain America Civil War, John Conney portrays King T'Chaka of Wakanda. In Civil War, before passing the title on to his son T'Challa, T'Chaka was the Black Panther. After his father's death, T'Challa would become the next king of Wakanda and later join the Avengers. King T'Chaka is killed when Helmut Zemo bombs the United Nations while he is giving a speech about the Sokovia Accords. Later, it is revealed that Zemo's bad behavior stems from the loss of his family during the Battle of Sokovia, which Tony Stark's pet project Ultron started. Many Civil War events, including the bombing of the UN, would never have happened if Ultron hadn't attacked. On to the next character, we have Charlie Spencer. Unknown in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Charlie Spencer's demise during the Battle of Sokovia indirectly leads to the outbreak of the superhero Civil War. In the first act of Captain America: Civil War, Alfre Woodard plays his distraught mother who approaches Tony Stark after his lecture at MIT. It is revealed that Charlie Spencer was killed when a building fell on him as he was constructing sustainable housing in the war-torn country of Sokovia. After learning of Spencer's passing, Tony starts to support the idea of superhero registration because he feels that he and the other Avengers need to be restrained so that no one else would perish as a result of their activities. And of course, we have Vision in today's list as well. The Mind Stone and Tony Stark's artificial intelligence, Jarvis, were combined to create Vision, a sentient synthezoid. Vision, portrayed by Paul Bettany, became a significant member of the Avengers for the majority of the third phase of the MCU, igniting a relationship with Wanda Maximoff. Due to the fact that he was killed by the crazed Titan Thanos during the Battle of Wakanda, Vision is one Marvel character that a lot of fans greatly miss. While Tony was absent during this contention, that's where reality stays. If Tony and Cap had not dropped out during the occasions of nationwide conflict, the Justice Fighters could not have possibly been isolated during Thanos' success. Vision would still be alive at the end of everything if the team had stood together against the villain and won. And lastly, we have Thanos. The greatest antagonist in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thanos searches the galaxy for the 6 Infinity Stones so that he can restore his twisted sense of natural balance and wipe out half of all life. During the events of Infinity War and Endgame, he fights the Avengers and proves to be the greatest threat they've ever faced. During the Mad Titan's conquest, Tony Stark positioned himself as Thanos' direct adversary. As a result, he is ultimately accountable for the demise of the supervillain by utilizing the combined power of the Infinity Stones to permanently eliminate Thanos and his armies. Tony saved the universe from the one threat that had haunted him ever since the Avengers Initiative's inception. So, what can we say about Tony Stark? To wrap up today's list, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, Tony Stark, may have passed away during the events of Avengers Endgame, but the MCU's future will carry on his legacy. In series like Ironheart and Armor Wars, new heroes are already set to carry on his legacy long after death. Even though many consider Tony Stark to be one of history's greatest heroes, he remains a contentious character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Stark saved many lives while he was Iron Man, but he is also to blame for the early deaths of many characters. So we know that the MCU still has a lot lined up for Phase 5, but we can't help but wonder, when will it end? One Marvel Studios executive stated that there are no indications that Marvel will conclude its story anytime soon. After all, the MCU is still going strong with years of planned content. Even though it has been more than 14 years since Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man first hit theaters, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is still arguably the most popular movie franchise in the industry. Phase 4 of the MCU set records by releasing the most Marvel content ever, with a total of 16 projects. A large portion of Phases 5 and 6's release schedule, which will conclude with the epic team-up adventures of Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret Wars, was revealed by Feige and his team at San Diego Comic-Con 2022. The multiverse saga will conclude with these 2 films. However, it is unknown where the series will go beyond 2026 or whether it will continue at all when Phase 6 concludes. Thankfully, remarks from a senior Marvel producer suggest that, at least temporarily, there is no end in sight. So does this mean the MCU franchise will continue for years to come? Marvel Studios' VP of Production and Development, Nate Moore, discussed the possible length of the Marvel Cinematic Universe during an appearance on The Town with Matthew Boloney. Moore acknowledged that the crew can't sit back on their laurels, emphasizing a need to keep pushing the boundaries of what the genre and the franchise can do when asked if an end was in sight. However, he does believe that the MCU could last for a long period in the end. We can't think we have the answers, Moore explained. We have to continue to push the envelope as far as genre and what we're willing to explore. But to me, Marvel movies are just movies. Our source material is just, it'd be like saying, hey, are movies about books gonna go on forever? Probably. With that, we're wrapping up today's video about Tony Stark and the future of the MCU. What project of this popular franchise are you looking forward to the most? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching today's video, and before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. See you next time, and thanks for watching.